Hello, welcome to Rando Tech Info. So today we're going to be talking about the Vivo X70 Plus, M Plus Pro, and whether or not these phones will work here in the US. These phones are getting a lot of love on the interwebs right now, particularly the Pro Plus for its camera prowess. And if the side-by-side comparisons comparing this phone's photos to the iPhone 13 and the S21 Ultra's photos are to be believed, then the hype is justified. However, one could argue that for the $1,000 plus price tag of the Pro Plus, it should be taking some pretty dang nice pictures. Now, before we start talking too much about these phones and their compatibility with US carriers, I think we need to talk about the general state of importing phones into the US right now. And unfortunately, the news is not good. So people have been leaving a lot of comments in my videos lately saying that their carrier has stopped supporting their phone. The phone will work fine one day and the next day they will get a text saying their phone is no longer supported and they will need to order a new phone that is carrier supported. This has happened to multiple people with multiple phones across both AT&T and T-Mobile. Less so with Verizon, but that is most likely due to the fact that most imported phones don't work on Verizon in the first place. This situation is making it really hard to recommend importing any phones into the US right now, especially phones that cost over $1,000 like the X70 Pro Plus. The X70 Pro and Pro Plus are not going to be sold here in the US, and importing a phone from a third-party seller almost always voids the warranty. So if you get the phone over here and it doesn't work out of the box, or your carrier refuses to activate the phone or cut service to the phone later down the road, you can't return it.
Oh, then you're screwed.
You are then stuck essentially with a small tablet that you can only use on your Wi-Fi. Speaking of getting stuck, if you don't want to get stuck missing more videos like this one, you should seriously consider subbing to the channel.
That doesn't make any sense.
For now, I've decided to go ahead and keep making these videos, if for no other reason than to warn people about what is going on. But honestly, like I said, I can't really recommend bringing any phone into the US at this time because these phones will not be carrier certified. Now, if you're a risk taker and you really want to give the X70 Pro or Pro Plus a shot, then I will go ahead and tell you whether or not these phones have the hardware to work on your carrier's network. Also, just for your information, the Pro and Pro Plus have the same antennas and support the same frequency bands, so whatever I say about one phone will apply to both phones. So as of right now, there seems to be only one version of these phones on Vivo's website. The price on those phones is in rupees, so it looks like this is either the Indian or global version of these phones. The good news is that the X60 used the same frequency bands last year regardless of where the phone was sold or shipped to. So I feel like the frequency bands listed on Vivo's website for the X70 should be accurate regardless of the region it is meant to be used in. So if you're on Verizon, the phone probably won't work at all. Verizon is notorious for keeping non-certified phones off its network, and the fact that Verizon uses a CDMA network further complicates a phone's compatibility. Furthermore, the phone only has the hardware to utilize one of Verizon's 5G bands, and on 4G it cannot use Verizon's big band, band 13, which is its backbone band, so in short, Verizon is a no-go. As for T-Mobile, the phone does utilize their mid-band 5G frequency band, but it does not utilize any of their millimeter wave or sub-6 frequency bands. The phone does use 5 out of 6 of their 4G frequency bands and all of the major 4G frequency bands, so you should be pretty good to go on 4G. On AT&T, the hardware supports their sub-6 5G band, but AT&T doesn't give 5G access to non-certified devices, so that really doesn't matter. As for 4G, the phone uses 6 out of 9 of their frequency bands, so you might get some decent 4G coverage depending on where you live. So at the end of the day, you could get lucky and get some coverage with AT&T and T-Mobile, but like I said in the beginning of this video, just because a phone can work on a carrier's network doesn't mean that it will work, and considering the cost of these phones, I just don't think it's worth the risk to bring one over here. Well, that's all the information I have for today. Did you find this video useful, and should I even continue making these videos moving forward considering the state of non-certified phones on US carriers? Let me know down in the comments. As always, I hope you did find the video useful. Thank you for watching, and until next time, this is Rando Tech Info, signing out.